The story of the Epstein Files is not just about one criminal case. It is a story about power, influence, secrecy, and the uncomfortable question many people still ask today: how did this happen for so long? At the center of the controversy was Jeffrey Epstein, a wealthy financier who built connections with some of the most powerful people in the world: politicians, celebrities, billionaires, and influential business leaders. But behind the image of wealth and influence, investigators later uncovered something far darker. The first major investigation began in 2005, when police in Florida received reports involving underage girls being recruited to Epstein's mansion. Witnesses described a disturbing system where teenagers were allegedly brought to his properties under the promise of money, gifts, or opportunities. As investigators interviewed more victims, the case quickly grew larger than anyone expected. Dozens of victims began coming forward with similar accounts. At this point, many believed the case would lead to one of the biggest criminal prosecutions in modern American history. But that is not what happened. In 2008, Epstein reached a controversial plea agreement that shocked the public. Instead of facing federal charges that could have resulted in decades in prison, he pleaded guilty to lesser state charges and received a sentence widely criticized as extremely lenient. He served only a limited time in custody under unusually flexible conditions that allowed significant freedom outside the facility. Many legal experts, journalists, and victims later questioned how such a deal was allowed, especially considering the scale of the allegations and the number of reported victims. This plea deal became one of the central reasons why the Epstein Files would later attract global attention. Another reason the case remained in headlines for years was Epstein's network of powerful connections. Photographs, flight records, and social circles revealed that Epstein had interacted with numerous influential individuals across politics, business, academia, and entertainment. While not everyone connected to him was accused of wrongdoing, the presence of such high-profile associations intensified public suspicion and media scrutiny. Many people began asking the same question: was influence protecting him? That question would follow the case for decades. In 2019, federal authorities reopened the case and arrested Epstein again, this time on serious federal charges. The arrest triggered global media coverage, with victims speaking publicly, new witnesses emerging, and previously sealed court documents gaining attention. Public interest surged as journalists began investigating the broader network surrounding the case. But just weeks after the arrest, another shocking development occurred. Epstein was found dead in his jail cell while awaiting trial, and his death was officially ruled a suicide. However, the circumstances surrounding the incident sparked widespread controversy, investigations, and public debate, further fueling interest in the so-called Epstein Files. When people refer to the Epstein Files, they are usually talking about court documents, testimonies, investigation records, flight logs, and legal filings connected to the case over many years. Some of these documents have been gradually released through court rulings, revealing witness statements, legal testimonies, names mentioned in legal proceedings, evidence connected to investigations. Importantly, being mentioned in a document does not automatically imply guilt, but the release of these files has kept the case in global headlines because of the number of influential individuals referenced across different legal records. Even years later, the Epstein case remains one of the most discussed criminal investigations in modern history, not only because of the crimes themselves, but because it raised larger concerns about accountability among powerful individuals, legal system transparency, the treatment of victims, and whether influence can affect justice. For many observers, the case became a symbol of how complex criminal investigations can become when power, wealth, and global connections are involved. The Epstein Files are not just a collection of documents. They represent years of investigations, unanswered questions, and a case that continues to shape discussions about justice and accountability worldwide. And even today, as additional documents continue to surface through court processes, one reality remains clear: the full impact of this case is still unfolding, and the world is still watching.